Thank you. First, I would like to apologize for my bit bad English. I'm sorry. Okay, I have to talk about update from the African Regional Committee, Memory of the World, ARCMOW, challenges and opportunities for digital heritage preservation. It doesn't work. Here? Yeah. Okay, thank you. As introduction, I would say that ARCMOW is not so active than the other two regional committees, probably by organizational and management problems, but no doubt because of lack of financial means. So it has been difficult to collect data about the challenges and the opportunities for digital heritage preservation. My presentation will use the result of a questions survey addressed to all the ARCMOW members who attended the Abuja African Consultation meeting for the implementation of the 2015 recommendation. Mr. Banda talked about that meeting. In the survey, there was 3 questions. The first one is there in your country or organization a written national strategy for the long-term preservation of digital heritage? The second question is, what training, tools, information do you request to support your work for the preservation of digital heritage? The third one is, what are the key challenges you are facing digital heritage preservation in your country or organization? The first part is about the written national strategy for the long-term preservation of the African digital heritage. There are 2 countries which have a national strategy for the long-term preservation of digital heritage, which are Nigeria and Mauritius. The colleagues from the first one, Nigeria, have some implementation concerns, while the second, our colleagues know where they have to go and have the government support. It is very important in the African context to have the government support, because maybe the government do not consider as a priority documentary heritage. The remaining there are 6 countries which answered the survey. I cite Nigeria and Mauritius. The remaining 4 countries do not have not yet any strategy. By country, the main challenges they face are: for Nigeria, the problem is the implementation of the existent strategy. For Seychelles, there is a lack of best practice models, lack of funding, lack of technical expertise. For Eritrea, there are lack of administrative support. For Gabon, there are a lack of best practices and models, lack of funding, lack of technical expertise, lack of administrative support. For Benin, there is a lack of administrative support. We noticed that only Mauritius had a national strategy implemented in spite of some difficulties. The part 2 is about the training, tools, information requested to support the work for the preservation of digital heritage. None of these countries has school or tools to training people for the preservation of digital heritage. However, Gabon has a project to establishing an electronic document management, EDM, system entitled Gabon Digital 2025. So the countries need an administrative support from the governments, a regional cooperation regarding digital sustainability, best practice models, funding, technical expertise, shared information and solution, standards for contents and metadata, shared tools and repository, etc. Third part concerns the key challenges faced by the work for the African digital preservation. The key challenges are as those described in part 1 and 2. And this is the list I talk about them. To conclude, Mauritius seems the African country most advanced in terms of preservation of digital. It is a good example to share in the African context. Even it needs support. It knows where it is going and provides an administrative support to the work for the preservation of its digital heritage. I think that if there is any external support, Mauritius should be a good receptacle in aim to encouraging it, to promoting it as the African example of good practice and making it a reference center for training in the continent-wide. I finish my presentation to thank Dr. Andrew Anderson, who worked hard on helping to establish the survey. Thank you for your attention.